world. You're watching the John and Alex Show. I'm Alex.
And I'm John.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about our year in review. It is near the end of 2015. It's December 11th today. So
yes, it is.
It's time to get that list of top whatever out and catch up on what happened over in the world, what happened in our own lives, and see some of the top 10 in numerous amount of categories.
Yeah, Facebook actually just launched yesterday a 2015 year in review, and it's interesting to see all of the different things that happen after a year. I want to say that this got popular on social networks probably 3 or 4 years ago when the aggregators started working on your Instagram photos. Facebook obviously collects a lot of data throughout the year, and they can track what's popular in so many different categories.
Right. So let's take a look at that video of what Facebook has created for the 2015 year in review.
Yeah, so if you actually go to, share the screen here, if you go to yearinreview.fb.com/2015, this is what you'll see. And they created a little mini site here to talk about the year as it comes to a close. So you can actually even choose your language and all that. So we'll just click through and listen to the video that they've created here.
Heartbreak today after a major weekend earthquake rocks Nepal.
Europe is facing the worst refugee crisis since the Second World War.
In Paris today, a show of solidarity on this day of defiance.
We don't want nobody to go through this type of pain that you cannot get back. That's all we've been asking for.
We have no room for hate, so we have to forgive.
Questo video, ma che bello, che bellissimo.
Liquid water has been found on Mars.
No group of men have got the will, have got the capacity to do more for this country.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Liberté, fraternité, égalité! The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity. It's about all of us accepting one another.
I want to take a moment to show you how the world is responding to the Paris terror attacks.
Nous sommes solidaires avec vous. Nous sommes tous ensemble. We stand with you, united.
I love that video.
That was pretty epic. Made me proud to be alive, first and foremost.
Yeah, in this digital age, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know what I especially liked about the video, aside from the fact that, of course, it recapped so many huge events that happened over 2015, was that it had a little picture frame, almost as if it were, from a Facebook status.
Right.
And I think that it was a really nice move on the part of Facebook, especially because I remember 5 years ago in high school, I was talking with my friend about social media, about Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. And this was around the time when people would just document food. Right. And it was like, and everyone was complaining about the fact like, oh, I don't need social media because I don't care about what my friends are eating all the time.
Right.
And my friend was telling me, I don't mind whatever people see because it's a diary for myself. You know, I like to put what I was thinking at that time or what I was doing at that time, because then I can look back on it and see, oh wow, it's just kind of like a little scrapbook or a diary that I made for myself.
Right.
And looking at that Facebook video, it made me really realize that, yeah, it's kind of like our collective diary of what happened over the year.
Right. Just looking at that video, Alex, what would you say that the theme of this year would be, like just off the top of your head? What does it make you feel?
It definitely makes me feel united. At the end, really it talked about how we should stand together. And there were so many events this year. And I think, the internet and social media has made us feel a lot more connected. That allowed us to share the same experiences almost.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely united. I think that's a really good word. Also, I guess just pride,
Yeah, sure.
like pride in humanity. I feel like there's a little bit of a shift this year between other years. You'd see maybe more epic sports events or other things. This year was really just like a world change and a world shift, So I mean, it's interesting to see how social media will affect us in the years to come. Yeah. So shall we click through the list of the top? I think it's top 10 events as seen through the lens of Facebook. So.
All right. So the top event is the U.S. presidential election. So I think this is gearing up to next year's big day.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, I don't know if you have anything to say about the elections, Alex.
Oh, I've got plenty to say, but we'll save that for another conversation.
Okay, so we're going to click through and then we'll switch back and forth.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, okay. Of course, the attacks in Paris.
The attacks in Paris. I was actually driving up the road the other day, actually yesterday, and I saw some Christmas lights on a house. And it's probably the first time that I've seen Christmas lights in the sign of a peace sign.
Oh,
so it's really
nice,
cool to see that driving. I was like, oh, that's different. That's
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think these events actually go backwards chronological
order. Oh, okay. So it's 10 to 1.
Yes, the Syrian civil war and refugee crisis. We talked a little bit about that in our second episode.
We did.
The Nepal earthquake, so I remember that.
Right.
Greek debt crisis.
Yep. I'm sure my friend Achilles would have a lot to say about that.
Oh.
We're definitely going to have him on a future show. Also,
Sounds good, yeah.
He's a filmmaker and a stuntman and a PhD in world religion.
Marriage equality. Oh, I remember this day as well, and everyone changed their profile pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. From a technology standpoint, how how social networks have really allowed us to come together.
Yeah.
Talking about marriage equality, obviously there's a tool that Facebook built that allow you to change your profile picture to the rainbow, right? And then there's also the same thing with Paris.
Right.
So it's interesting to see how I guess you can use technology just to show a sign of solidarity.
Sure, and also, I read a couple articles where it was talking about how it wasn't Facebook's place to put that kind of thing and kind of push some sort of political, movement or anything like that. And so it kind of made me think. I was like, that's interesting. What role does Facebook play in our beliefs, right? And even with the rainbow, I mean, was it Facebook's place really to be able to?
Was it not their place though? I mean,
that's true.
It's a social network, and you choose into it,
so,
and it's just interesting how when you reach such a critical mass, how it becomes almost like public entity.
Right.
It's governed. It's like there's laws against what they do. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I just thought it was really interesting because I had never thought of it until I read that article. And I was like, wow, yeah. Now I think we're seeing more and more, businesses getting involved, companies getting involved. And I think part of it had to go back to, everything with the shift into having a corporate social responsibility as well, where the whole thing about having a business and a person are becoming more and more united. Well, I don't know. Before it used to be much more separate, right? Like, okay, I'm just me. I have my own beliefs and whatnot, and I work for a company. The company has no stand on anything, no beliefs. And this could be, for instance, with climate change or the environment. There's so many more corporations now that are trying to do their part in being much more eco-friendly and whatnot. But this was something that wasn't necessarily a big thing before, right? And now people are taking more social responsibility through businesses.
Right.
So.
I think it also goes to show that people are taking social media a lot more seriously.
Exactly, yeah.
And I actually like that.
I like that as well.
People are a lot more conscious about what they say and what they do, and they're a lot more transparent and responsible about what they're saying.
Yes.
So I think that's important.
Yeah. A lot of businesses have their Twitter team ready to go, in case you complain to them already.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Oh, of course, a huge one has been the fight against ISIS. And this is, I think, one of the things that really do make us united in that this is a global issue.
Right. And it's really cool the way that Facebook aggregated this. If you click into the more, it actually shows you an aggregate of the top stories and allows you to really gain some insight about each
Sure.
each topic, which is really cool.
And keep in mind that this, 2015 year in review is kind of really through the lens of Facebook. Which posts got the most attention
Right.
on Facebook? And so I think there are some events that definitely were in the media or were really big,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't necessarily make the Facebook cut.
Sure.
So
I want to say that this is probably based on popularity. I don't know if they would actually curate. I can't speak to this. I don't know if they would actually curate a list they thought was the top 10.
sure.
However,
Yeah.
I would think that it's based on popularity, shares, number of shares, likes,
Sure.
voice, things like that. And then at the end, we'll actually show you some really interesting topics.
Cool. Yeah. So what did you all think of the Facebook 2015 list? Let us know in the comments.
Yes.
And we're just going to continue going through it and see what the top events were. Charlie Hebdo attack, I remember that as well.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of, okay, so now it really is going backwards chronological order, right? Because this is kind of towards the beginning of the year.
Towards the beginning of the year, right. So that's number 8. Number 9, Baltimore protests. Yes.
Charleston shooting. I also am finding, going back to just talking about how Facebook aggregates by popularity, a lot of these are American events. Well,
Yeah.
I'm noticing quite a few American events. Of course, there are lots of international ones.
Sure.
But for instance, if you are using Facebook in Japan, I wonder what those top 10
Good point. Good point.
big things are going to be.
We should ask our friends in Japan. I know that there's a language switcher, so maybe it is country specific. That would be interesting to find out.
These are the big events of the English-speaking countries or something.
Right.
No, I mean, there's
So that's it. So those are the top 10, I guess, largest events.
Sure.
As told by Facebook. They also did an aggregation of different topics.
Mhm.
That are pretty fun to look at, and we'll kind of go through. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the John and Alex Show. We broadcast live Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and we're actually in our 11th episode. So thank you so much for tuning in.
And we're doing a year in review as told by Facebook.
Yes. All right, so let's take a look at these top lists here.
So, okay, yeah, the top one is US, and then it says like global.
Right.
So
this is the list that we just
okay.
I think we just looked at for the most part.
Well, yeah, there are a couple other things I see, like Star Wars, Planned Parenthood, and Super Bowl that were huge, particularly to the US. Everything else I think was on that global list.
Right. Global places. So I would assume that this is check-ins.
Oh,
Check-ins and
wow.
mentions, really interesting. Disney properties, number 1.
Cool.
Universal
Guess everyone
Studios,
has to
Times
check
Square.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The
The Louvre.
Awesome. It makes me want to go to these places.
Right? And they give us a top 20
Expo,
list.
Milano. Oh, wow. The World Expo.
Very cool. Haven't been to half of those places.
New sticker packs. What is this?
No, okay, so actual stickers.
Oh, right, because Facebook has like the sticker thing as well, right? Do you use stickers?
I do not use stickers.
I
I'd
don't
rather
use
use
stickers as
emoticons.
well. Yeah, me too.
This obviously feels like a marketing opportunity. It looks like it's really inspired by a line and that whole movement.
Right.
I guess stickers is another way to monetize it. I'm assuming that you can purchase sticker packs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use Line with some of my friends from Japan, and they are always using stickers. And I'm like, I need to get on this.
I know. They always post stickers, and I'm like, oh,
athlete.
Could you use words? Top athlete. So Mayweather, of course, followed by Pacquiao and Rossi. How do you say her name?
I think it's Ronda Rousey. I don't know.
Rousey.
But I'm surprised that Holly Holmes isn't higher on the list then.
Right?
Or she didn't make the cut.
That's kind of interesting, right? So you win a fight, right?
Yeah.
A huge fight like that, and you still don't make the list. That's really interesting. Just goes to show how publicity works, right?
Sure.
She's still making the top lists even though she lost. It's really interesting.
Well, I think maybe what it was is that she had all this kind of momentum going prior to the fight, so people were typing in her name, and then all of a sudden when Holly Holmes knocked her out, they would still type Holly Holmes knocked Ronda Rousey out. So that's still getting her more, I guess, Facebook points, if you can call it that.
In the grand scheme of things, though, I wonder how big the loss would really be for her career.
I don't know.
Right? I mean, I don't know if.
Well, I don't really, watch the fight, so.
Yeah. I guess the thing for me about that fight was be humble.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Let's see who the top entertainers were.
All right, great.
I'm excited to see that.
What's your guess?
Ed Sheeran, he's on the cover there.
Cover.
Yeah.
And you know Kanye is going to be on there.
Yeah. Oh, and Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift.
Wait, who is Nicki Jam?
I have no idea who Nicki Jam is.
Okay, this is.
Caitlyn.
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner is on there.
And The Weeknd.
Awesome. I have no idea who Nicki Jam is. Is this an international thing?
I have no idea. Yeah, it's global.
Okay.
So, we'll definitely look up
Cool.
who Nicki Jam is. Global movies. I think you all can guess.
Star Wars? Yeah.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
It's not even out yet.
Right, and then Fast and Furious, of course. Paul Walker died, So that was a really, really big thing. Right, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens didn't even come out yet. So it goes to show hype, the hype machine.
Sure.
Jurassic World. Did you see any of these movies?
I'm not a huge movie person. I've seen Straight Outta Compton and Pitch Perfect 2.
Okay.
I need to watch these movies, obviously.
Right, I saw Jurassic World.
I saw Jurassic World too.
Avengers.
That's good.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of these movies.
Awesome.
Let's see what's next. Politicians.
Okay.
Let's see, Obama's going to be on that list.
And Trump.
And
Sadly.
Trump. Right.
All right. And then, of course, a lot of world leaders.
Right, a lot of world leaders. So we're underneath each list that has a
global.
whether it's global or US.
But is it really global?
But is it really global? New games.
And of course, you have to keep in mind, these are people that have Facebook.
Right,
too.
exactly.
So,
this is only counting Facebook sentiment. Yeah. FIFA 15. I'm not a video gamer.
Wait. Oh, okay.
I'm going to assume these are video games. Metal Gear Solid.
I totally thought they were sports games because I saw
That's
the
how
picture.
realistic it looks these days. Yeah.
Whoa, that's not a real game?
No, it's not. This is just a CD
Whoa,
rendering.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should totally have video game night. That would be fun, I think.
would lose.
And then global TV shows. Game of Thrones, of course. Walking Dead.
Saturday Night Live, as per usual. Okay, the only one I watched is Last Week Tonight and Orange is the New Black. Oh, and The Daily Show.
Apparently, I'm not a very big TV show person because I haven't really followed any of those.
Yeah.
However, I do have family members that follow Walking Dead, and I like the marketing machine of the whole thing. They do The Walking Dead, they do Talking Dead, and it's like they're constantly talking about it. I think it's masterfully done.
Getting the hype up. Well, it made #2 on the list, so
Yes,
it did well. All right. Well, should we talk about our year in review?
Yeah, let's talk about our year in review a little. And we'd love to hear from you, of course. Tell us about your year. What were some milestones, some fond memories, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. So, John, how was your year?
My year was actually interesting. I think 2015 for me was really transition. It was transition. It was, just a whole lot of milestone events. I did a little bit of travel, probably some of my bigger memories. Actually went to Hong Kong, mainland China, Macau for the first time.
That's awesome.
Right. So travel is always usually a big theme of my years. Recently, anyway. I also went to Seattle for the first time, which was great.
Oh, right. Nice.
Yeah, I think just picking up some interesting clients, transition from the standpoint of finding myself in business. It's been about 13 years or so since I've been doing the agency. And I think in 2016, it's definitely going to shift. It's going to transform.
Cool. Right.
So it's transition, and then I think my theme for 2016 is going to be transformation.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, I'm setting it up already, and next week we'll actually have a resolution or a New Year's show, talk a little bit about goals and talk about those things. So that was my year in a nutshell. Just lots of transition and change for me.
All right, cool.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I guess transition and transformation was something that I would use to describe my year. This past year, I've been Miss Kahala. I actually earned the title last November. So really, for the large part of 2015, I was Miss Kahala. And for the first half of the year, I was gearing up for Miss Hawaii. And I competed this past summer, and I placed in the top 5. So that was it was a highlight, definitely a milestone.
Right.
And after Miss Hawaii, I went to Japan for my cousin's wedding. Got to see all my friends and family from not seeing them for like 3 years, which is really good. And then I came back. Got a new job at Malama Mauna Lua, and here I am. So those are the milestones for sure.
You started a YouTube channel. I think that's big.
Milestone. We can put that on like our Facebook milestone.
It's going to show up in our year in review.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Definitely a transformative year for me. Being Miss Kahala was something that opened my eyes to so many different things. And I have competed in the Miss Hawaii program before, but I think this year was a little different for me because I was much more invested into it, learning really what it means to be a true title holder and getting out there in the community and being a role model. And I went to so many different schools and gave motivational talks, and got to do tons of different projects. So I'm very grateful for my years. Definitely a good one, and I'm really looking forward to see what 2016 has in store.
Yeah, I think for me this year, I also really discovered fitness, health and fitness. You know, the importance of having a healthy body and a healthy mind. You know, and the link between how productive I am based on how well I take care of my body.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to be a theme, a continued theme for me in 2016.
Cool.
Continuing with health and wellness, and yeah, I'm thinking like you've accomplished so much, and know that I've done a few more things, and it's always interesting when you look back at things, how epic your year was.
Totally.
You know,
yeah.
so I make sure to really celebrate those victories every day.
Sure.
You know, I think another milestone for me is there's a documentary I've been working on for the past 11 years.
Wow.
I was like 21 when we started this thing with
Okay.
two of my partners, Tom Reese and Achilles Cassis.
Nice.
And it's a documentary on Hawaii sacred sites.
Yeah.
So it's National Geographic style. We actually go to 16 different religions or sacred sites, from Heiaus to, you know, Greek Orthodox Church. And it's kind of like a visual textbook.
Cool. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, so that's kind of a huge
Years.
milestone for me. And then I'm starting a new documentary on milk tea
Right.
in 2016.
Cool. Man, so you started when you were 21.
Yeah,
I should get started now then.
it took a long
Get my
time.
documentary together.
Absolutely. I think you have so much to say. I feel like also, you know, this year is, I also did a lot of personal development. You know, I went through a men's leadership seminar, you know, just getting re-involved with personal development, personal growth, you know, lifelong learner. So I did like a 9-day retreat in California.
Cool. Yeah.
With like 100 dudes. We did man stuff. And for me, that was really discovering the man that I am. And figuring out what commitment was, and integrity and authenticity and all that. And then I also did a 90-day goal setting program called PLD. And that was huge because, you know, when it comes to accountability, you know, doing what you say you're going to do is such a huge, doing what I say I'm going to do is such a huge part of, you know, reaching your goals and achieving things. So, you know,
setting those goals and getting them done.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, it comes down to enrolling in my life with urgency.
I like that, yeah.
You know, I can choose to approach each day sort of floating through it, or I can choose to attack it and really just be proactive on everything.
Right.
And it's amazing how much you'll accomplish by enrolling in your life daily.
That's awesome. I'm gonna put that to use in my own life and make a list of goals that I have for 2016 and get them, you know, enroll in my own life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, I think some of my goals for next year are to train my body and train my mind, as I've decided to put it. So
very good.
As far as the how, you know, the mechanism as to how to do that, that will come as it comes.
It's intention. Everything's intention.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So we have a few more minutes. What else can we talk about?
Well, you know, we really want to know more about everyone else's year in review, and I'm sure that Facebook is going to come out with that personal year in review tool as it usually does, and I know Instagram does that as well, talking about some of your top photos of the year, and so we'll see how, you know, the way we perceive our own year, like we just mentioned, and we'll see what social media has to say about, you know, what we did throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure. I think probably my favorite one is Instagram's year in review thing. So they take your most popular media and they put it to something, and they make it easy to share. So I'm looking forward to that coming out.
Cool, that'll be exciting.
Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, of course, I feel like a lot of the milestones, like the really big highlights of the year, people pay attention to on social media, and they tend to get more likes or comments and whatnot. And that, of course, bumps it up so it'll actually be in your year in review.
Right. We have 2 viewers watching. We'd love to know who you are. If you're viewing on our channel, you can actually go to the chat box and say something if you're watching in theater mode. But you know, feel free to talk with us and to write with us. You know, I actually, on last week's episode about travel, there was actually a one of my friends that commented. Her name is Steph.
Oh, cool.
And Steph's actually interesting. She actually went to school at UH, and she has some roots here in Hawaii.
Nice.
She went back to Hong Kong, where she lives, and actually opened up a poke.
Oh.
So she has 2 locations in
That's awesome.
in central Hong Kong, and I'm working on having her on the show to talk about poke in Hong Kong. I just wanted to give her a shout out because I said I was, and also you know, she's been to so many different places. I'm just gonna name off a few here.
Of course, Hong Kong and Hawaii.
Hong Kong and Hawaii for sure. And let's see here. She's also been to Korea, Japan, obviously the US, Russia, Scandinavia, the UK, Italy, Australia, Taiwan, and Singapore. She can't even remember the rest.
And that was just this year.
Right.
That's pretty amazing.
This year. She's a bit of a world traveler. And the name of her poke shop is called Pololi. HK. And I've actually been there when I was earlier this year when I went to Hong Kong, the Central. I seeked this place out, and it was really cool. I also had lunch with Steph here in Hawaii when she was visiting. So if you're in Hong Kong and you want a slice of aloha in Hong Kong, look at this. Hula happening in central Hong Kong.
Very cool. You know, I wonder if my friend from Hong Kong has been there before.
Yeah, we should talk with her.
That's cool.
I think that would be a good topic for future episodes, like aloha around the world.
Yeah,
you know?
Awesome.
Because it's super cool to see how far it extends and how far it reaches.
Sounds good. Well, you know, if you've got a topic that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know in the comments. Yeah. And for those of you watching on replay, which most of our viewers do, feel free to share it with your friends. And please tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, JohnAndAlexShow.com or hnl.me/JohnAlexYouTube. Just letting you know, next week, Friday, we won't be doing a show because we'll both be traveling over to different places.
So we have 2 more shows coming up, so Monday and Wednesday, and we're working on those topics, obviously working on getting some guests as well.
Sure. And I think we're going to bring it into the holidays with Christmas and New Year's for next year.
Yeah, we're going to do Christmas and New Year's, and we'll talk a little about gift guide. Top gifts.
So
have you started your Christmas shopping
I've
already?
started, have not nearly finished. But if you've got any holiday gift ideas, please let us know that we can talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about it next
if you've got a local business and you're trying to plug your sales, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, the good old New Year's resolution. So we'll definitely have some solid goals, make some declarations.
Sounds good.
And, and all that stuff. What does the rest of your day look like?
Mostly work. I work and then work again.
Okay.
I work in Maunalua and then I work on the Now Tech.
Any cool projects? Any cool projects? Any cool initiatives? Any cool things coming up?
I do. But you know what? I think I'm gonna bring that up and save it for another day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm actually doing a photo shoot with a new client, Noi Thai.
Oh yes, I've heard of that.
In Royal Hawaiian, they have amazing food. So I'm going to be shooting their menu, their cocktail menu, as well as their drinks, their food, their staff, and their location. It's amazing. It's probably the most amazing Thai food experience that I've ever seen.
Cool.
Yeah. So I have that, and I've got gym later, and just
nice.
Yeah.
Well, make it a great Friday.
Yeah.
And to everyone else, have a happy Aloha Friday.
All right, I just want to give also a quick plug to Koa. Koa Nuviva. He's one of our faithful watchers, faithful viewers. Hi. He says, "What's up?" And we just want to say hi to him and thank you for your continued support.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so with that, I guess we'll sign off a few minutes early. Thank you for watching the John and Alex Show. I'm John.
And I'm Alex.
And I'll see you guys later.
All right.
Peace.
Sunshine.